Hey there, welcome back. So I have continued with One Piece. I'm actually a decent ways through Thriller Bark 1, but we're going to just talk about the post-Enies lobby right here. And there's actually a lot that happened in these very short chapters. So pretty much we have returned to Water 7. It is so fantastic to see the citizens knowing the truth that the Straw Hats are not the enemies. They're very grateful for saving Iceberg and Franky and the town. Well, not the town, but you get the point. They're happy that they weren't the ones who attacked Iceberg at the beginning, and they feel bad for kind of confiscating all their stuff that they had left behind when they went off to save Robin and they thought that they were the bad guys. So Nami is all upset that specifically her orange trees or tangerines have been taken, but from her, they were originally her sister's, and she misses that more than the actual treasure. So when the citizens return those trees, she's so happy. Love that. Luffy is still asleep, but recovering from all his injuries, but is eating in his sleep so he doesn't miss a meal, which is very Luffy. Franky returns and tells them about the Atom Tree, which we learn will take a beating, obviously, and he'll make a ship out of it for them. And it is going to be the same material that the original Pirate King ship was made of, so it's great that we're getting a new ship there. I still miss the Mary, but it's good to know that this ship will be more durable because I can't handle losing another ship. Another small moment that I really liked was when Robin and Chopper came back from seeing the Franky family and healing up Simon and Gamora, make sure they were all okay. Chopper's just like reporting back, I've returned Robin, I didn't let her out of my sight for a second, and Robin's just like, I'm not going anywhere, we're good. So that was just cute, I like that. And then I'm gonna have to theorize at the end of this video. So we have an Vice Admiral come to Water 7 looking for the Straw Hats. He beats down the door and immediately punches Luffy, waking him up. And I'm like, okay, they're in for another fight. No, it is his grandfather. I forgot we had mentioned that he had a grandfather, but I was not expecting him to be a vice admiral. So, on the one hand, I really like that we have a new family member. On the other hand, why is he so abusive? He's punching Luffy. He did not treat him very well, it sounds like, as a child. I do not like that. And then he didn't want to appreciate Luffy's dreams of being a pirate. He wanted him to be a good Navy man, was trying to make him strong for that. But at the same time, I can kind of understand not wanting your grandson to grow up to be a criminal. So I'm going to let that one slide. I was sort of questioning whether or not he was going to be a good person, but that was immediately answered when, so he beat down the door, like the wall, to get into them. And his other officers are just like, sir, why'd you beat down the door? Or why didn't we use the door? Why'd you beat down the wall? Now we gotta fix this. And Vice Admiral's just like, it made a cool entrance. It's like, well, come help us fix this wall. So he's so much work putting the bricks back in. So it seems to be a good guy. And then he's like, I'm not going to capture you. I'll tell the Navy that I let you go because you're my grandson. And then the guy behind him's just like, sir, that's not a good reason to let the pirates go. How about we just tell them that they escaped? It's like, yeah, all right. And I like this Vice Admiral. Garp? Yeah, Garp. I'm pretty sure it's Garp. Correct me with pronunciation when I'm wrong, please. And then, of course, we have Kobe. He returns along with the guy whose name starts with H that was the bratty little kid living off his father's name from like early in the manga chapters. And it is so great to see them back. Luffy's happy to see them. We had gotten little moments in cover pages leading up to this where the grandfather was drawn, and I clearly didn't know who he was. Kobe's going on about his dreams. He wants to become a strong person in the Navy and, yeah, just being a good guy. But he's also like, I'm going to get stronger and I'm going to fight you, Luffy. I'm going to be the one who captures you. And then he immediately apologizes and just like, oh, I got carried away. I always get carried away when I'm around you. And Luffy's just like, no, do it. Fight me. Get stronger. It'll be a great fight. I'm excited for it. And it's just like, you made a strong enemy there. It's like, yeah, I know. It's going to be great in the future. So I I love the relationship between Kobe and Luffy because Kobe's a good kid and he's getting stronger. He's using like the shave technique, so you know he's not going to be a pushover at all. And I'm very excited to see what kind of fight that they will have. It'll be just showing off their skills. And I can't see them having any hostility at all when the fight is over. So I'm looking forward to that in the future. What else happened? Oh my god. We get the bomb dropped on us by the grandpa being like, letting us know that the dragon from earlier in the manga episode chapters that had helped Luffy escape from Smoker when he first showed up is Monkey D. Dragon. It's Luffy's father. What the hell? How? What? Okay. Again, going to be theorizing about the Willa D at the end. I got no idea what it is, obviously. But, so he's a revolutionary, the most wanted man in this world, and there's like a new world, and what is with this family being full of strong people? Did Luffy even know he had a dad? Because he was shocked that this guy was his dad. Why did he leave? Who's Luffy's mother, by the way? Yeah, I got nothing for Dragon yet, but good to know. Good to know. We learn about the four emperors of the sea, and Shanks being one of them. So I love Shanks. I'm very excited for when he returns. And of course, Luffy's happy to hear that Shanks is still around and is really strong. And cutting forward a bit, we have Shanks meeting up with Whitebeard. And there's one trope that I don't see too often, but when I do, I love it. And that's just a character walking in and either everyone just collapses as he's walking through, they can't stand in his presence, or you look at them and as you look at them, they just fall kind of thing. Like you physically can't be in this person's presence. They're too powerful. I love that so much. I don't see it as often as I would like. So when this happened in the manga, my jaw just dropped. And I'm like, oh, it's like my favorite little thing that I love to see. So this is because of Haki. Yes, I've definitely heard the name before. Like casual videos before I started reading One Piece. I remember people like comparing characters, like could this character beat a character from like say Naruto, and the word Haki definitely came up, but I had no idea what it was. I still don't know what it is, so we're gonna figure it out as I go through this manga. He's meeting Whitebeard. I learned that Shanks and Buggy were both apprentices under Gold D. Roger. Did I miss that, or is this new information? Because I was shocked. I did not remember reading that. I just remember the chapters where they were apprentices together. Did I skip over Gold D. Roger? What else? What else? They share a drink, and then Shanks, showing his continued support and love of Luffy, had said that he gave his arm for, like, the new era. So something about protecting Luffy is good for the future kind of thing. Going back to Gold D. Roger, Gold D. Roger. Is it possible that he knows about the will of D, told Shanks about it, and that's why Shanks protected Luffy, or became interested in Luffy? Or is that just a coincidence kind of thing that they ever met? But did Shanks go looking for Luffy? Did he give him the devil fruit? Tricked him into eating it kind of thing? I don't know. There's too many theories, so who knows? But then Shanks is just like, hey, I need you to not attack, or call off Ace, don't have him go after Blackbeard. And Whitebeard's just like, Blackbeard killed members of our crew. He needs to pay for this. It can't just be swept aside. There's nothing worse than killing your crewmates. They're all like families. These are my sons. They're each other's brothers kind of thing. And Shanks is just like, he's too powerful. So Whitebeard doesn't appreciate being told what to do. They have a clash and splits the freaking sky. That was a cool panel. Love that. I just want to see Shanks in a full-on fight, and against Whitebeard would be great. But instead, we cut to Blackbeard and Shanks' fight, and true to what Shanks said, Blackbeard is completely all-powerful here. His devil fruit, which is the reason he betrayed Whitebeard, was because he had to kill a crewmate to get the devil fruit that crewmate had, and its devil fruit power is darkness. and essentially gives him the power of a black hole. Like, how in the world are you supposed to defeat that? At the end, we see Ace's hat fall, but I'm convinced Ace is fine. Luffy's not going to hear about his brother's death off screen. That happened far away. But speaking of deaths, I had predicted at the beginning of this manga that Shanks was going to be the one to die, and I'm not ruling that out. But that was based on the fact of, like, shonen, your mentor is probably going to end up dying, but Shanks didn't overly train Luffy. He's just the person he idolizes the most. So, not saying Shanks won't die, or I don't think he will, but you're more likely to lose a family member. So now that we've introduced even more family members, being Ace, the Vice Admiral, Grandpa, and Dragon, I'm leaning more towards one of those dying, with a preference for Grandpa and Dad. I feel like they're not safe because Luffy's the protagonist, but we'll see. What happens after that? Aokiji shows up to speak with Robin, and we learn him and Saul were actually good friends, rather than just colleagues, and the reason he let Robin escape was he trusted in Saul's decision and hope for the future, and I guess knew he could take care of Robin himself if she ever got out of hand. So he was kind of protecting her in the shadows. But when he knew that Robin wanted to die, that's why he didn't step in Water 7. It's like, okay, experiment over, she's done. There goes a threat to the government, and I guess Saul was wrong, but then she wants to live and now she's happy. And he's like, cool, I'm going to let you go. Show me that Ohara is still alive within you. His character and motives are still a question to me. I want to know what's going to happen if the government ever gives another order that he's like, I would never go this far kind of thing. I want to see him go to that breaking point and be like, is he going to stand with the government or is he going to switch sides? For him, I'm leaning towards he would go with the side of justice. He's just currently thinking that the government is justice, so the second that he gets that unjust order, he's like, no, this is too much. He's going to do what Saul did and betray the government, is my thought. We get new bounties for everybody. This video is going to be just all my theories, because, okay, we get our new bounties. Everyone's very excited. Chomper's a little annoyed that his is only 50 berries, and that's sad, because he worked so hard and fought so bravely, but it's like, he's a pet on the wanted poster. We see all the loved ones in different islands and everything's reaction to getting the new wanted posters and seeing that their friends are still alive and well. And the witch lady's happy that just Chomper looks happy. And everyone reacting to the wanted posters, which is a really cute addition. I love that. But here's my conspiracy tinfoil hat theory. So Sanji's wanted poster is a drawing because they forgot apparently to take the lens cap off when they took the photo. What if, now I was looking back through my old notes and Sanji's actually from the North Blue. I got written down, I confirmed. So that means that he ended up in the West Blue, or was it East? East Blue. He went from North to East. Is it possible that he is running from someone that's hunting him in the North Blue, so he went to the East Blue in the cookboat ships to escape them, and now if he had a photo, then the people looking for him would be like, hey, this is clearly the guy, let's send everybody that we have after him. But because it's only a drawing that resembles him, maybe they'll send like a smaller little scout ship to go looking for him. Kind of where I'm at right now. Or it could have just been a joke because it was funny and gave Zoro reason to laugh at him. Or for all I know, Sanji's a vampire and can't be photographed. Like, it's probably just a joke, but I kind of like it where I don't know why he's from the North Blue but we found him in the East Blue. Alright, so we get the reveal of the new boat. It's the Thousand Sunny. It is gorgeous. It's lovely. It's big. There's a big lion head on it that looks like a sunflower or a sun. And it's supposed to be like, oh, it's the king of the jungle, but it just looks so happy. We get Franky officially joining the crew. I'm not shocked by that because I think not even I've done so well at avoiding spoilers, and anytime I go on TikTok now and they talk about One Piece, I'm not even risking it, because before it was like if I had already seen it in the anime, like up to Arlong Park, I was okay watching the video before I started this One Piece read. But now, I hear the word One Piece, I'm just going to keep scrolling because I don't want to be spoiled for anything. I don't go on the Wikipedia page anymore, and I have been spoiled for the fact that he joins the crew based on people opening bag clips, because it's just like, these are the Straw Hats crew and Franky's among them, and I'm just like, cool. Well, I figured he was going to join anyway, but or him or Iceberg. I didn't think it was going to be Iceberg, so Franky's on our crew. He initially was hesitant because he wanted to stay with Water 7. He wanted to stay with the Franky family. He felt like he'd be betraying Tom and his memories if he had left. But the Franky family is just like, hey, he's got a bounty on his head now. You have to get him out of here. It's not safe for him to be here. So to get him to leave, they steal his Speedos and make him run half naked through the town. And everyone is like yelling at them like, hey, you can't be doing this. What the hell? And it just accumulates to at the dock and like telling him to join and all that, and eventually he does. Robin does something to get him in a little bit of pain before joining. I also really like a little later when they're leaving, the townspeople who were just like half cursing at him, being like, no, you menace to society, how dare you run naked through the streets, my children. When they're leaving, they're like, bye, it's like, good riddance, but come back, be safe. Like, they do care about them, and it's really sweet. So they're checking out the Thousand Sunny, and Usopp wants to rejoin the crew, but he doesn't want to take responsibility for it. So Zoro, in a very Zoro statement, is just like, he's all about like respect for the captain. So Usopp disrespected Luffy as the captain. He needs to apologize. He can't worm his way back in. They can't just push this aside and forgive him. He needs to apologize, or else that Zoro can't respect Luffy and Zoro will be the next one to leave. And I would rather have Zoro than Usopp, so Usopp better apologize. Luffy understands and agrees to Zoro's terms. If the first words are out of Usopp's mouth are not a sincere apology, they leave him behind. So Grandpa comes back because he had let it slip to the Navy that he was letting them go because Luffy's the grandson, and they're like, no, you have to bring him in. So they go on, and he's chucking cannonballs at the Thousand Sunny, so they're taken off, and Usopp, who had been rehearsing all the different combinations of how he can accept coming back to the crew, but without apologizing, is coming back, and he's on the beach, and he's screaming out, hey, you're leaving me behind, it's me, Usopp, I'm Sniper King, we worked past all this, but he's not apologizing. So while the crew is fighting off flying cannonballs, Zoro and Luffy are completely ignoring him. And they're like, I can't hear anything. It's too loud. The fighting's too loud. I can't hear anything. Clearly, they can hear him and know what he's saying. But the first words out of his mouth was not an apology. So they can't hear it. And then when finally Usopp breaks down, and this one got me emotional, just seeing him in such pain and tears and crying, just like, I'm sorry. They can hear him. And I'm not going to tear up at this. Luffy stretches his arm back, grabs him, pulls him back onto the ship, and they all escape together. The Thousand Sunny has some nice techniques to get them back to safety. All right, so Grandpa's happy they escaped, so I do like Grandpa. The next stop is going to be like on the way to Fishman Islands, but first they have to go through Thriller Bark and the Haunted Seas. I'm very looking forward to all of that, but now I need to talk to somebody about the Willa D, because I'm confused. I'm enjoying what is the Willa D, and I have some theories that I'm going to put out there. All right, where's my little book? All right, so we have Grandpa, Dragon, Ace, and Luffy, all from the same family. Then we also know that there's Roger, Teach, who's Blackbeard, and Saul. Saul being the only one of this group who's not human. Now, thinking of where everyone's to, I am working under the assumption that Luffy is from the East Blue, and therefore most of his family might be, but I'm not ruling out the possibility that they come from elsewhere. Because I know Shanks is in the West Blue. He's not any part of the Will of D, but he was part of Goldie Roger's crew, so I don't know if Roger is also from the West Blue as well. Don't know where Teach is from, but Saul is probably near where the other one's in. I think it's somewhere in the South Blue. So they're all from different places as far as I know. I'm looking for connections here. Now, the first thing that I thought of was the fact that Roger was connected to the Ponteglyphs. He left a message saying, I have come here and will lead this passage to the very end, par Goldie Roger. So, don't know why he carved that either on or around the Ponteglyphs, but he wrote it in the same language. And we know the Ponteglyphs are written in the language of that ancient city. So, I'm leaning towards Roger would have to be like some kind of historian or archaeologist similar to Robin. So that is he's also the captain. So maybe these people have references to like crew places. Like you have the captain, the medic and first mate, that kind of thing. So Luffy's a captain, Ace is a commander, so that's kind of like a first mate. Dragon's a revolutionary, and I think he has some kind of wind powers. Maybe he's like a navigator. And then Garp being the vice admiral, just similar to Luffy, high in rank and captain. Teach, Blackbeard, is a trader, but also a captain. Saul, also a vice admiral. I don't know enough about their backstory to say that they might fit any other category position on a ship. I don't know if the connection for the Will of D has anything to do about actual willpower in hockey, because I'm grasping at straws for this one, because if Shanks was on Goldie Roger's crew, and then when we first hear about hockey, one of the other people on Whitebeard's ship was just like, if your will's not strong, you can't stand up against this man. And I don't know, will was used in Will of D. Like I said, I'm grasping at straws. I'm also looking at which ones them have devil fruit. So Luffy, Ace, Dragon. Assuming Dragon's thing was a weather power, I'm pretty sure it is. Teach all have devil fruits, but I have no idea if Roger had one. I don't know. I don't think Garp has one, and Saul I don't think had one. Look like similar. We have all of them having black hair, except for Saul, which is also weird because, again, not officially human. So I'm leaning mostly towards some kind of connections between the Will of D and the Ponteglyphs and that ancient civilization. But that's only because Roger was looking into it, which led me to the archaeologist thing. So maybe these people might have spots to fill on a ship, so ancestors of an old original crew. That is where I am at with the Will of D, with like the original person maybe being the captain of this historical crew. I got nothing. But that is the end of the post Enies Lobby arc. I'm going to finish off the Thriller Bark ones because that's only a very short chapter as well. I am behind in watching the anime filler episodes. And again, I am someone who enjoys additional content and fillers. They're just normally slower character developments and relationships. So I do normally like watching those, but I also want to really continue the story. So most of those might be put on hold until I get time to just sit down and watch the anime. But yeah, I will talk to you later. Bye.